Have you ever stopped to wonder why some people seem to navigate life with a sense of calm, no matter how chaotic things get around them? It's not because they have fewer problems or challenges. It's because they've learned to master their mindset. At the core of this strength lies the philosophy of Stoicism, a way of life that has been practiced for centuries by those seeking wisdom and inner peace. Stoicism teaches that true power comes from within, from controlling your reactions and focusing on what you can control. Today, we'll explore how adopting Stoic principles can help you become more resilient, grounded, and unshakable in the face of life's inevitable storms. As we break down these ideas, you'll learn how to cultivate inner strength, approach challenges with a new perspective, and live a life rooted in purpose and clarity. These aren't just philosophical concepts, they are practical steps you can take to start transforming your mindset today. Ready to dive in? 1. Self-awareness is the foundation upon which all personal growth is built. Without knowing yourself, your strengths, and especially your weaknesses, how can you expect to navigate life effectively? Many people shy away from confronting their fears and insecurities, but true growth starts when you face them head-on. Consider fear like a shadow. It grows when ignored, but shrinks when you shine a light on it. Every individual, at some point, must confront these inner doubts. Doing so is a painful process, but it is also liberating, revealing what truly holds you back in life. When people begin to recognize their limitations, the first instinct is often to cover them up. Society, after all, values perfection. However, those who are willing to expose their vulnerabilities and admit their shortcomings can make profound changes in their lives. Think about it. What would happen if you admitted to yourself that you're afraid of failure? That acknowledgement could be the first step toward taking calculated risks, improving your skills, or even asking for help. The person who knows their limits is far stronger than one who lives in denial of them. For example, an athlete must understand their physical limitations to improve their performance. In the same way, anyone aiming for success in life must know their own personal thresholds. Take, for instance, someone who's afraid of public speaking. By acknowledging this fear, they can then take actionable steps to overcome it, such as joining a local speaking group or practicing in front of friends. Through such practical actions, self-awareness transforms from a concept into a powerful tool for growth. Understanding yourself also means recognizing that growth is never linear. There will be setbacks, moments when you feel like you're not making any progress. However, when you're aware of your triggers and fears, you can begin to respond rather than react. This not only strengthens your emotional intelligence, but also prepares you for the challenges of life. And here's the thing. When you conquer one fear, you start to realize that most of the things you once feared are not as powerful as you thought. 2. Life is full of unexpected challenges, and while we can't control what happens to us, we can control how we react. This is a fundamental concept that separates those who thrive from those who simply survive. Reacting impulsively to situations, whether it's in anger, frustration, or fear, often leads to regret. On the other hand, learning to pause, think, and then respond mindfully allows you to navigate life's difficulties with grace. It's not about suppressing emotions, but about mastering them, using them to fuel growth rather than chaos. Think about the last time someone cut you off in traffic or said something that irritated you. Did you let that situation control your mood for the rest of the day, or were you able to let it go quickly? Those who master their reactions understand that every moment spent dwelling on negative emotions is a moment lost. By choosing to react calmly, you maintain control over your emotional state. It's like being the captain of a ship, steady even when the sea gets rough. This skill doesn't just improve your peace of mind, it also influences how others perceive you. One way to start controlling your reactions is to develop a habit of deep breathing when faced with stress. This may sound overly simple, but taking a few deep breaths gives your mind the space to assess the situation before responding impulsively. Consider this. If you're in a heated argument, those few seconds of pause can make the difference between escalating the situation or diffusing it. Over time, practicing these small moments of mindfulness can help you handle bigger life challenges more effectively, like managing conflict at work or dealing with personal setbacks. Mastering your reactions is about more than just handling small frustrations. It's about preparing yourself for life's bigger storms. When you learn to control your response in everyday situations, you're better equipped to face more significant challenges, such as career setbacks or personal loss. Those who develop this emotional control become resilient. They understand that while life may throw curveballs, they have the power to choose how they respond, turning every setback into an opportunity for growth. 3. Living in the present. One of the most powerful lessons in life is learning to live in the present moment. Too often people get caught up in the regrets of the past or the worries of the future, neglecting the only moment that truly matters, the now. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring the future or dismissing past experiences. Instead, it's about understanding that the only time you have control over is this very moment. When you focus on what you can do right now, you create the best foundation for a fulfilling future. Many people spend their lives chasing happiness, convinced that it lies in some future achievement, a better job, a bigger house, or a perfect relationship. But what if the happiness you seek is already available to you right now? The truth is, happiness comes from appreciating the present and making the most of each moment. Whether it's savoring your morning coffee or enjoying a conversation with a friend, these small moments, when fully embraced, can bring more joy than any grand future accomplishment. Living in the present also helps you handle stress more effectively. When you focus on the now, you're not overwhelmed by what could go wrong tomorrow or what happened yesterday. Imagine someone who constantly worries about the future, always thinking about what could go wrong. Their mind is never at peace. On the other hand, someone who is fully immersed in the present moment approaches life with calm and focus, knowing that handling one moment at a time leads to better decisions and a more peaceful mind. A practical way to live in the present is by practicing mindfulness. This doesn't require any special tools or techniques, just a conscious effort to pay attention to what's happening in your life right now. Whether you're working, eating, or spending time with loved ones, try to be fully present in that activity. Instead of thinking about what you need to do next, focus on the task at hand. This simple practice can reduce anxiety, improve concentration, and make everyday experiences more enjoyable. 4. The power of simplicity. Simplicity is often undervalued in a world that seems to thrive on complexity and constant busyness. Yet those who truly understand the power of simplicity find that it brings clarity, peace, and focus to their lives. Simplicity is not about living with less for the sake of it. It's about stripping away the non-essential so that you can focus on what truly matters. Imagine your mind as a cluttered room. The more stuff you have in it, the harder it is to find what you're looking for. But when you simplify, suddenly everything becomes clearer, and you can focus on what's important. Many people think that living a simple life means giving up luxuries or pleasures, but it's quite the opposite. Simplicity is about choosing what brings you genuine joy and purpose, and cutting out the distractions. It's about decluttering your mind, your schedule, and even your physical space to make room for what truly adds value. Take, for example, a professional who spends every waking hour working. By simplifying their schedule, prioritizing key tasks, and letting go of unnecessary commitments, They create space for creativity, rest, and personal growth, ultimately becoming more productive and fulfilled. In practice, living simply might involve making conscious decisions about how you spend your time, money, and energy. Instead of mindlessly scrolling through social media or buying things you don't need, you could invest that time and money into experiences that enrich your life. Imagine how freeing it would feel to have a clean, organized environment or a day free of unnecessary distractions. You could focus more on meaningful conversations, deep work, or hobbies that genuinely bring you happiness. Simplicity doesn't restrict you, it liberates you. What's interesting is that simplicity also cultivates gratitude. When you're not overwhelmed by excess, you begin to appreciate the little things more. A warm cup of tea, a quiet evening, or a walk in the park. These simple pleasures, when fully appreciated, add up to a life rich in contentment. And here's the secret. When you master the art of simplicity, you find that you actually have more. More time, more peace, and more joy, because you've removed the unnecessary clutter from your life. 5. The transformative power of gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools you can use to shift your mindset and, ultimately, your life. It's easy to get caught up in what's lacking or what could be better, but when you practice gratitude, you train your mind to focus on what's going well. This simple shift in perspective can turn even the toughest situations into opportunities for growth and learning. Gratitude doesn't just make you feel good, it rewires your brain to recognize the abundance already present in your life, rather than constantly yearning for more. One of the most common misconceptions about gratitude is that it's something you only express when things are going great. In reality, gratitude is most powerful when life isn't going according to plan. When you practice being thankful for the small wins, the lessons learned, or even the challenges that push you to grow, you shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. Take, for instance, someone going through a financial hardship. Instead of fixating on what they don't have, they can focus on the resources they still have, the support of loved ones, their health, or even the opportunity to rebuild. Practicing gratitude can be as simple as starting or ending your day by listing 3 things you're thankful for. These don't have to be grand gestures. Sometimes it's the little things, like a good conversation with a friend, a meal that brought comfort, or even the fact that you made it through a tough day. Over time, this practice becomes a habit that changes how you approach each day. It's like training your mind to see the silver lining in every cloud. And the beauty of gratitude is that it's contagious. The more you practice it, the more those around you begin to notice and adopt the same mindset. Gratitude doesn't just change your internal world, it transforms your relationships as well. When you express appreciation for others, whether it's a friend, colleague, or partner, you strengthen those connections. People are drawn to those who acknowledge and value them. By cultivating gratitude in your daily life, you're not only enhancing your own well-being, but also creating an environment where positivity can thrive. And here's something to think about. When was the last time you genuinely thanked someone for being in your life? The act of expressing gratitude can be a game changer, deepening relationships and fostering a sense of community. 6. Resilience through adversity. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from life's challenges, and it's a skill that every person can develop. Life will always throw obstacles your way, but what separates those who thrive from those who falter is how they respond to adversity. Resilience isn't about being unaffected by hardship. It's about adapting, learning, and emerging stronger from each experience. Think of it like a muscle. The more you face difficulties, the stronger your resilience becomes. It's not the easy moments that define you, but the way you handle the tough ones. Adversity can take many forms: loss, failure, rejection, but in every challenge, there's a lesson. For example, someone who loses their job may initially feel devastated, but with time and perspective, they might realize it was the catalyst they needed to pursue a more fulfilling career. The key to resilience is shifting your mindset from "why is this happening to me" to "what can I learn from this?" When you adopt this approach, every setback becomes an opportunity for growth rather than an insurmountable obstacle. Practical ways to build resilience include developing a strong support system, practicing self-care, and cultivating a positive mindset. Surrounding yourself with people who uplift and encourage you can make all the difference when times get tough. Self-care, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional, ensures that you have the energy and strength to face challenges head-on. And perhaps most importantly, maintaining a positive outlook, focusing on solutions rather than problems, can keep you grounded and motivated during difficult times. Resilience doesn't mean you won't feel pain or frustration, but it does mean you won't be defeated by it. Each time you overcome an obstacle, you gain confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes next. And here's something to consider. The most resilient people are often those who have faced the greatest challenges. They understand that adversity is a part of life, but instead of letting it break them, they use it as fuel to keep moving forward. 7. Appreciating the journey. In a world that often emphasizes the destination, whether it's achieving a goal, landing a dream job, or reaching a milestone, it's easy to forget the importance of the journey. The journey is where real growth happens, where lessons are learned, and where character is built. Too many people are in such a rush to get there that they miss the beauty and value of the process itself. Every step, even the difficult ones, contributes to who you become. The journey is not just a means to an end. It is the core of your personal evolution. When you focus solely on the end result, you risk feeling empty once you've achieved it. You may even find yourself asking, "Is this it?" The reality is, the joy and fulfillment you seek are often found in the everyday moments, the struggles, the triumphs, and the small victories along the way. Consider someone training for a marathon. While crossing the finish line is the ultimate goal, the real transformation occurs during the months of preparation, the early morning runs, and pushing through moments of doubt. The same applies to life. Appreciating the journey requires a mindset shift. Instead of seeing obstacles as annoyances or setbacks, view them as opportunities to grow. Every challenge you face is part of the adventure, and each one brings with it valuable lessons. Think of a time when you faced a significant challenge. It probably wasn't enjoyable in the moment, but looking back, you likely realize it was a pivotal part of your development. This is why embracing the journey, rather than just the destination, makes life richer and more meaningful. One way to start appreciating the journey is to practice reflection. Take time to look back on your progress, whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal growth. Celebrate how far you've come, even if you're not yet where you want to be. By acknowledging your growth and the lessons learned along the way, you begin to see that the journey itself is full of value. And here's a thought. The destination may not turn out exactly as you expected, but if you've appreciated the journey, you'll have gained far more than you ever anticipated. 8. The wisdom of patience. Patience is often seen as a passive virtue, but in reality, it's one of the most powerful tools for achieving long-term success. In a world driven by instant gratification, developing patience is more important than ever. It's the ability to wait for the right moment, to persist through difficulties without giving up, and to understand that some things take time to come to fruition. Think of patience like planting a seed. You won't see the results right away, but with care and time, it grows into something remarkable. Many people struggle with patience because they equate waiting with inactivity. But patience isn't about sitting still. It's about doing what you can in the moment and trusting that the results will come in time. Imagine an entrepreneur building a business. The early stages are often full of uncertainty, with many challenges and little to show for the effort. However, those who are patient, who continue to put in the work without immediate rewards, are the ones who ultimately succeed. It's not because they got lucky, but because they understood that progress takes time. A practical way to develop patience is by setting realistic expectations for yourself and others. We live in a world where everything seems to move fast, from technology to communication, but personal and professional growth doesn't follow that same rapid pace. When you accept that meaningful change and success require time, you can approach life with more calm and resilience. For example, if you're learning a new skill, don't expect mastery overnight. Celebrate small wins along the way and trust that the larger goal will be achieved in due time. Patience also brings wisdom. When you're not in a rush, you can see situations more clearly and make better decisions. Those who act impulsively often regret their choices later because they didn't take the time to fully assess the situation. Patience allows you to gather information, consider different perspectives, and choose the best course of action. And here's something to keep in mind. The most successful people aren't those who rush into things, but those who patiently wait for the right moment to act. Number 9, the strength of consistency. Consistency is one of the most underrated keys to success. It's not the grand gestures or sporadic efforts that lead to lasting change. It's the small, steady actions taken every day. Whether you're working towards a personal goal, building a career, or improving your relationships, consistency is what turns dreams into reality. Think of it like building a house. Laying a brick perfectly each day may not seem like much, but over time it creates a strong and solid foundation. Without consistency, even the best plans fall apart. Many people struggle with consistency because they get discouraged when they don't see immediate results. But here's the truth. Success is often hidden in the daily grind. It's not glamorous, but it's effective. Take, for example, someone who wants to get fit. Going to the gym once won't make a difference, but going regularly, even on days when they don't feel like it, will. The same applies to learning a new skill or building a business. The magic happens when you show up, day after day, even when it's tough, even when you don't feel like it. A practical way to cultivate consistency is by setting small, manageable goals and creating a routine around them. If you want to read more, for instance, start by committing to just 10 minutes of reading each day. It's not about doing a lot all at once. It's about doing a little, consistently, over time. You'll find that those small efforts compound and lead to significant results. Consistency is about showing up, even when you don't see immediate progress, trusting that every little step brings you closer to your goal. Consistency also builds trust, both in yourself and with others. When you consistently follow through on your promises, people begin to rely on you. And when you consistently keep promises to yourself, like sticking to a fitness routine or working on a personal project, you build self-confidence. It's this quiet, steady persistence that separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up when things get hard. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress, one consistent step at a time. 10. The importance of reflection. In the hustle of everyday life, many people overlook one of the most important practices for growth and self-improvement: reflection. Taking time to reflect on your experiences, decisions, and actions allows you to gain insights that you might otherwise miss. Reflection is like holding up a mirror to your life. It helps you see patterns, learn from mistakes, and recognize the progress you've made. Without reflection, it's easy to keep moving forward without truly understanding where you've been or how far you've come. Reflection doesn't have to be a long or complicated process. It can be as simple as taking a few moments at the end of each day to ask yourself what went well, what didn't, and what you could improve. For example, after a challenging workday, reflecting on how you handled stress or communication can help you make adjustments for the future. By developing this habit, you create a feedback loop that enhances your ability to grow and adapt. It's not about dwelling on the past, but about learning from it to improve your future actions. Incorporating reflection into your routine can also help you make better decisions. When faced with a choice, you can look back on similar situations and evaluate what worked and what didn't. This process sharpens your decision-making skills and helps you avoid repeating past mistakes. Think of it like reviewing a playbook before the next game. The more you understand your past plays, both successful and unsuccessful, the better prepared you'll be for the challenges ahead. One powerful way to reflect is through journaling. Writing down your thoughts, experiences, and lessons learned not only helps clarify your thinking, but also creates a record that you can look back on. Over time, you'll start to see patterns in your behavior and decisions that can guide you toward more thoughtful actions. And here's something to consider. Reflection isn't just about personal growth. It can also improve your relationships and professional life by helping you become more self-aware and intentional in how you interact with others. Now that we've explored the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and how it can reshape your life, it's time to take action. The principles we've discussed are not just for reflection, they are meant to be lived. Each moment you practice self-control, focus on what you can change, and let go of what you cannot, you become stronger, more resilient, and more aligned with your true purpose. The path of Stoicism is a journey, not a destination, and the more you apply these teachings, the more you'll find peace, clarity, and strength in every aspect of your life. The real question is, are you ready to embrace this mindset and see the world in a new light? Don't forget, this is just the beginning. For more insights into Stoicism and how to apply it in your life, make sure to subscribe. The choice is yours, and the rewards are profound.